of how I ended up surgical videos going from 3D to 2D and whatnot. So what I've already done, and we can go over this, but I've created a library in Final Cut Pro. That's easy. You come up here, new library, and then you import into different projects. And you can do this when you import all of my surgical videos. So we'll do File, Import. It'll be under Media. You have your hard drive hooked up to the USB-C dongle through the connectors. Anyway, it'll import your media into this catalog. So I'm going to already say that I have this in, and I want to go in here to this case of an epiretinal membrane where I'm using a flex loop cannula, and I want to edit it up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go New Project. So the key thing is that I'm going to name it something I can remember, and I'm going to say that this is going to be 3D with voice. All right, I'm going to make this a custom, and this needs to be 3840 by 1080. The rate, it's fine, 2398 is fine. All right, so now I have a project, and now the project is down in this lower area here called ERM with Flex Loop. Here are my files that I've already imported, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll through, and I'm just going to hit I for in, and O for out, and I'm just going to take some snippets. I can hit L to go fast through it, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of everything here. So here we're going to come in. Now we got our ICG. I'm going to hit I, O, E. That just gets me a little bit of the ICG going in. I'm just trying to find the important parts of each surgery. I always like to have the vitrectomy when I'm removing ICG, especially in 3D, because that ICG kind of flows up towards you. And it's just interesting for someone who's not seen a lot of surgical videos. I, O, E. I'm just kind of generally looking for good parts of the video that can kind of emphasize things. Here we can see this person's got some negative staining, or they may have already been peeled. I can't recall which in this case. But we're going ahead and we're finishing our vitrectomy. I'm not doing any I and O at this point. Just kind of skimming through. And now what we're going to do is we're probably going to, we're finishing our vitrectomy up here. I'll just skim through till we put our contact lens on. Now, I love this because this will give me a chance. I'll go I here. Put our contact lens on. Now, what I like to do is I like to show the flex loop. Show I, O, O, E. There. That just lets me show the flex loop a little bit outside of the eye. This is a negative stained epiretinal membrane. So now I'm going to just slow it down to more of a normal pace. And I'm hitting I and O here in Final Cut to kind of let me get in and out, but I want to go slower, so I'm going normal speed. This is a good example of a patient that's breathing. So I here as I start to rub with the flex loop. O, E. Now that's going to be a little bit long, but I just wanted to show the flex loop in its full extent. Now I'm looking to show myself peeling. And we can see the benefit of using this flex loop in this patient and the benefit of the Ingenuity is the fact that the patient can be moving. And we can just get a nice solid peel right across there. That was great. We won't say that. We'll go back in. This is a good example of the Ingenuity. The contact lens is slipping off to the side, so I readjust that. And now I'm going to get this as being another eye. And then O and E, I. Sometimes I can edit a lot faster just on the fly like that. Anyway, let me go through this a little bit more. So anyway, that's basically it. Now I've got it all edited up, let's say. I always like to add this fade to color towards the end here. I like to keep my videos under 2 minutes long if possible. So now at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to record a voiceover. This file is now in 3D, so I'm going to go up here to Window and I'm going to say record voiceover, and we'll just hit this. So this is an example of using the Alcon flex loop to help with an epiretinal membrane peel. I like to stain with ICG for epiretinal membranes because I feel like it's really important to get the internal membrane up underneath or behind the epiretinal membrane to prevent recurrence. And so after completing the core vitrectomy, I use this Alcon flex loop. It's replaced the Tanno brush in many instances. Now, two main things here. First of all, you can see this patient is breathing a lot and there's a lot of eye movement, yet the retina never goes out of focus. The flex loop is really nice because if you do have a patient that has a lot of movement, pinching and peeling the ILM or epiretinal membrane can be dangerous. So using this flex loop actually to create an edge that's then elevated off of the retina just gives you that added bit of safety. And you can see I can extend the flex loop, or I can move the flex loop a little more in, depending on how much stiffness I want. Now I get my in-grasping forceps, and I'm able to safely grab this ILM and peel it over into the epiretinal membrane using those forceps, peeling the ILM out around the area and through the area to make sure we don't have any recurrence. And in this case, because of the lamellar macular hole, I did an air fluid exchange. Should give the flex loop a try. It can be a very useful tool for starting membrane peels. Thanks for watching. Okay, so now I have my audio down here, and what I can do is I can go over and I can go down to my voice, and I usually like to go to voiceover enhancement, and then I'll just pop this up a little bit just until I start to get a little bit of yellow. All right, so now I have my 3D video done, edited, and a voiceover. So now I'm going to go to File and I'm going to share it. And you want to share it as a 4K, and then I want to just check and see, yep, 3840 by 1080. It's really not 4K, it's really a 3D file, but you have to do it in 4K. And then we'll say save. Now, while that's exporting, I'm going to come up here, I'm going to go to my project, I'm going to duplicate this project. All right, So now I have an exact duplicate of that project. Now if you'll notice here, we're still on the original project. When you double click on the duplicate project, now you can see the one beside it. This is your second project. This is the one you want to be working on now. Come over, select the actual file up here. Go to modify, and then I'm going to change this to 2D. And we're going to change this from custom to 1080p. Take away that one. And we'll say okay. Now what this has done is it's changed it from a 3840 by 1080 to a 1920 by 1080. So the next thing is we have these two images. We want to get them down to one. So I'm going to select everything. I'm going to control click and make this a new compound clip. Okay, so now everything is in one clip, kind of unified. And I'm going to go over here to scale, and I'm going to put this up to 200%. That will enlarge it, and then I'm going to move this over, and this is going to be move this 960 pixels. Now, and that's just how you get it centered as far as that goes. Now I have this 2D clip that's at 1080p. I'm going to go to modify, render all. What that'll do is that will actually allow this to render out as a 2D clip. Once that's rendered, and it's this line that you can see here up top, it's rendering currently. Once this is fully rendered, then I can export it. If you export it before all of this is rendered, it'll have drop frames, it'll have blacked out spots and other things such as that, and it just doesn't look as good. So I'm going to be rendering this now. So I've rendered, now I've created and edited my 3D video. I've been able to trim that down into appropriate 2D video, and I've exported both. I'll take both and export them or upload them into Dropbox folders or Google Drive folders for 3D and 2D, and I'll upload the 2D to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.